Michael's investigation uncovered other so-called signs from God as well. Our next story involves the testing of a statue of Jesus Christ in Bolivia. The claim is straightforward, that the statue on its own bleeds. Now, this is a live shot of that statue. We put this statue to the test, the highest test, the CAT scan, to determine if it had been tampered with in any way. And you'll see those results and something else that seems to happen to this statue, something beyond science, when we come right back.
This is a simple statue of Jesus Christ. It is decorated with artistic markings that depict his blood. In 1995, Emma Orobola's family bought one of these statues and placed it on an altar in their home. Just hours later, the family said they were shocked to discover the statue was crying. A short time later, they said, this incredible statue of Christ began to bleed. When we heard these reports, we flew to Cochabamba in Bolivia to test for ourselves. This is what we saw. If you look closely at this footage, you can see that a tear has started to form an inch below the right eye. The tear moves slowly down the cheek and eventually falls. We continued to film for hours with nobody able to touch the statue. And this was the result. Inexplicably, the statue began to bleed. We now had our first major forensic challenge. If this was not a fraud, then where was this blood coming from? Whose blood was it? Was it human? And what of the DNA? What would that reveal? We took a sample of this substance, which has the appearance of blood. Whatever the results of our tests, Cochabamba's local archbishop has accepted the authenticity of this statue, which is now venerated by the thousands of people who have seen it cry and bleed. But of course, if this is a fraud, there is one obvious possibility, and that is the statue has been tampered with. A device, an injection, some type of hoax devised by man. Emma's family agreed to let science test the statue. A CAT scan was chosen for the test, the same sophisticated probe which allows doctors to see what X-rays cannot. If there was so much as a pinprick in this statue, it would be revealed by a CAT scan. The result? The statue has no devices, no holes, not the tiniest of apertures. It has not been tampered with. Science has no explanation for the weeping or bleeding. Since it began to bleed, the face has changed. It now appears etched with the suffering of a man dying in extreme pain. Today, it is hard to believe this statue was once an exact replica of the one you see on the right of the screen. The eyes no longer look like plaster, but indicate the reality of a tortuous death. Now it's time to test the blood from this tortured face.